The saxophone, a smooth, soulful sound that has defined generations of music, from jazz clubs to concert halls. The saxophone's voice is instantly recognizable across the world. Did you ever hear about what they say about some old Selmer Mark VI being made of used artillery shell casings found on French World War II battlefields? Well, true or not, that would be nothing compared to this. And today, we delve into a hidden chapter of the saxophone history, a chapter that has been carefully concealed for nearly 2 centuries. And here's the thing, the first saxophone wasn't just a means of creating art. It was designed as a covert firearm, and interestingly enough, it led to a modern weapon that changed the course of military history. And we're gonna talk about how and why all this happened. It all begins with Adolphe Sax, a Belgian inventor known for his talent in crafting musical instruments. Although he patented the saxophone in 1846, Adolphe Sax wasn't limited to the world of music. He also designed the sax horn, an instrument that would eventually give its name to a Soviet anti-tank missile, the 87 sax horn. But we'll get to that later. Adolphe Sax faced death on several occasions, including 2 comas and surviving explosions of gunpowder. Yes, remember well, gunpowder. Now that you have some context, let's go back to the 19th century. The 1840s were a time of political unrest. Carrying visible weapons could attract unwanted attention, of course. A disguised firearm, however, would be invaluable for covert operations. And this new instrument, later officially named the saxophone, with its distinctive shape, offered the perfect disguise. Adolphe Sax was a skilled instrument maker, with a deep understanding of acoustics and mechanics, so adapting his knowledge to create a firearm wouldn't have been beyond him. He had experience working with brass and other metals, essentials for constructing gun barrels and fire mechanisms. Let's remember that both his parents were instrument designers themselves. Now, during Crimean War, France, the country where Adolphe had moved to, provided the largest amount of troops to the Allied forces and played a crucial role in key battles. Sax collaborated with military engineers to develop a prototype of a ballistic saxophone. The idea was simple but brilliant: create a weapon that could go unnoticed in a civilian context. At first glance, it looked like a simple musical instrument, but its design concealed a compact and highly effective ballistic system. Imagine this: high-ranking officials attending a musical performance completely unaware that the music concealed a deadly threat. Reports suggest the weapon was deployed at elite events frequented by top commanders, though its ultimate impact remains shrouded in mystery. Now, my favorite part. Let's see some technical details about this awesome firearm. The design of this ballistic saxophone was a masterpiece of applied mechanics. The hidden barrel. The conical tube of the saxophone, made of a reinforced brass alloy, acts as the barrel of a weapon. Its conical geometry optimized both the acoustics and the precision of the shot. The barrel was engineered to launch projectiles with lethal force, employing a mechanism akin to the muskets of the era. The propulsion system. The ballistic saxophone used black powder, an invention that had been widely used in war during the 19th century. The propulsion mechanism consisted of a small compartment at the base of the tube. When ignited by a spark generated by a percussion cap, the gunpowder generated a controlled explosion that propelled the projectile out of the barrel. Covert projectiles. Some speculate the projectiles were disguised as saxophone parts, like valve caps or keys. I personally believe that they were more likely standard lead bullets, easily concealed within the instrument. Total discretion. When fired, the sound produced was similar to that of a low note, which made the saxophone the perfect weapon for espionage missions. Isn't this fascinating? This intricate yet surprisingly simple mechanism was hidden within what appeared to be a normal musical instrument. It's truly remarkable to say the least. Now, another intriguing discovery I made while researching Adolphe Sax' life is the Saxhorn anti-tank missile. Interestingly, you can spot this connection right on his Wikipedia page. Developed in the Soviet Union during the Cold War, the 87 Saxhorn is a portable anti-tank missile launched from a tube and guided by a SACLOS, semi-automatic command-to-line of sight system. This missile, which uses cables to be precisely guided, was designed as a light weapon easily carried by the infantry soldiers. Historically, the 87 Saxhorn was considered the Soviet equivalent to the American M47 Dragon missile. And if your mind isn't blowing up yet, I'm gonna leave you with a few questions. What if some saxophones still have this ballistic mechanism inside? What if some of the most iconic saxophone solos in history were not just musical expressions, but coded messages transmitted through the instrument's unique tonal qualities? Remember John Coltrane and those incredible mind-blowing diagrams? There are even books drawing connections between his music and the creation of the universe. They could all be cosmic coded messages mapping out something far greater. And what if the real name of Adolphe Sax was not Adolphe Sax, but Adolphe hit the like button?